Mulalah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon to all participants of HITeL's second session webinar for today. And we will continue in our series of talk and webinars on virtual reality and augmented reality for innovative teaching and learning. Okay, so again, I'm Dr. Ahmad Budani, head of Immersive Technology Cluster in HITeL. So maybe for some of you who are not familiar with HITeL, we are a center in which we promote innovative teaching and learning for all for the public and UITM. Okay, so basically we have a group of teams and of researchers and lecturers, so we try to promote as much as the technological advancement and updates as possible. Okay, so we have our Facebook, so you can like our Facebook. So we have many activities that you can find there. Okay, without wasting much time, I would like to introduce our speaker today, Mr. Mazlan Mahadzir. Okay, Mr. Mazlan Mahadzir is also a senior staff at MMU. Okay, he is senior staff at the Department of Virtual Reality at the Faculty of Creative Multimedia, Newspeed, MMU. So he has been a specialist at MMU for more than 23 years. So he's a very experienced person to be talking about VR today. So you're in good today. Okay, and what's more interesting, he has a background in architecture. Because he's not purely, let's say, a computer scientist, but his background from architecture, but he's a specialist in virtual reality. And for your info, he was my senior lecturer as well. I'm super senior at UTM, okay, in architecture. So there'll be some interesting take into virtual reality as you can compare with other speakers before. Okay, just briefly, from his experience, he has been involved in many projects in VR, both at national and international level, being project leaders in projects such as for Center for Innovative Systemic Design in Application and Content, projects in visual simulation, including Formulation Center of Remote Sensing, Putrajaya, even in UITM Putra Alam as well, right? And also projects such as e-warisan, virtual heritage, and many more. Okay, so can say I'm very good speaker today to talk about very basic for beginning. I could say the beginner's level for introducing virtual reality in teaching and learning. Okay, so basically for this webinar, the talk will last around 2 hours. So we finish around 5 o'clock, including question and answer session. So you may ask questions in the chat box, okay, during the talk, and I'll ask the question after Mr. Mazlan's presentation. Okay, so we also are live in YouTube, so you can click the link in the email and we share the link later for the YouTube.
Applying this VR tool actually for the innovative teaching and learning. Okay. So basically this is my background. So yeah, I'm a specialist in science in 1998, so almost 23 years. But I think we start BMM, Virtual Augmented Reality, since 2004 at that time, and actually uh, when we started, it's we just use the VRML, okay? So virtual reality modeling language in Java. So that's how the student created their project using that very basic VRML, and using the Netscape uh, uh, Netscape web-based. At that time only support the VRML. So yeah, we start at 2004. Uh, in vision of the our first dean uh, that I think that this is the new media that will be popular at that time. But yeah, it should take a long time uh, to until the recent technology breakthrough, which is the Oculus. At that time, we just created the what you call it, the screen based VR, only the screen, but it's a 3D interactive and so on. Just in comparing with normal animation, this is very linear, so we want to create a very interactive application, and that was we decide to let's do this VR things. Okay, so in VR project that we did previous, uh, which uh, which at that time we do mostly a lot of visual simulation using Multigen engine. Multigen that time is the software the US military used for creating war game war simulation at that time. So we bought that. We use that software. We create this vSim Putrajaya, vSim visual simulation, UiTM Puncak Alam, and the best thing that we do in the Putrajaya has two versions. First, to visualize for commercial. I mean that how the developer want to see the development within the Putrajaya. At that time, they have a height constraint, a development constraint. So we visualize that, and the developers can see how high they can build, or how low they have to following the development strategies during that day in Putrajaya. So, the second uh, BC Putrajaya 1 and BC Putrajaya 2 is actually a development visual simulation at the core island. So, at that time, they want to visualize the modern look of Putrajaya with all the so-called new tech buildings, and what we see right now in the core of Putrajaya is actually been envisioned by those. Actually, the idea was from the developer of the selected selected developer lah. And then they just give us the rough ideas, and we just visualize that. So sadly, because it was a real time, so at that time pun we forgot need to video ke apa, to take a video of that, because the application is real time. It's not the rendering. So we cannot I cannot record or anything from that, except for the few image only. Okay. So same goes as the vSim ITM Puncak Alam. So this project we collaborate with developers and the architects. Okay, so they want to see how the hill cutting. This time we really collaborate with the developer and the architect before it is really final design. So there, we visualize how the cutting of the hill, the feeling of the land, and the distance from the hostel to the lecture hall. So we can see that in visual. That's how we gone through this Puncak Alam VITM visual simulations. So I think at the end, the one that we visual, of course, the final will be different lah. But there's some planning that involved in that visual simulation project. And I think the recent project is Iwasan. Basically, we take the data from the UTM actually who doing the measure drawing, and we rebuild back the 19 selected buildings throughout the peninsula Semenanjung Malaysia. So view from Kelantan, a view from Kedah and Penang. So this is one of the house in Negeri Sembilan or Melaka. So we built a real time. A visual simulation is a real time. It's not rendering. It's not animation. It's real time application that it is one of the grant that we got. And actually the final outcome is to put the simulation application online, so that the students or the researcher can use. So we put that around, a few years lah, until no one want to take care of the system. So we brought down the online. So we only have the on the local local storage. Okay, that was the Iwasan project. And okay, so what is virtual reality? So basically, when we talk about VR is a system and it's a technology, but what I can say is actually another medium to convey and experience idea. So basically, we have the ideas of experience, and then we need a medium to showcase it. So that's why we use VR as the medium. But technically, as this morning lecture from Mr. Dandy also, they talk about this thing, a technical thing. So basically, it's a term used to describe a three-dimensional computer-generated environment which can be explored and interact with by a person. That person become part of this virtual world or immersed within this environment and able to manipulate objects or perform a series of action in virtual world. So basically, the component of application that can become the virtual reality should have this elements. Okay, so this is I think similar to Mr. Dandy this morning. Basically, the 5 key elements of VR experience, which is the first, the virtual world. Secondly, the immersion. The third one should have interactivities, and should have creators who create the application, or and then it needs participant to experience it. So basically, these are the 5 key elements of creating VR experience. And of course, technology, hardware, and software been the important elements to create this VR. So it's not a new technology. It's been invented since 1838. All right, and commonly VR system will be either HMDs or cave system. So cave is the big screen project in single screen, and the maximum is the 6 projection screen. Okay, so those are the cave, and of course at that time is very expensive. Only the certain company or institution would have that system. All right, so basically, yeah, this is the some kind of VR cave system that been used or been applied to create this experience. Okay, and then one of it, because this is the HMD is a single person experience, but this is slightly bigger than a single person. So this is more a group experience, a group of more than a person to experience the VR. Okay, so yeah, I think, is there any system in Malaysia, in VR cave system in Malaysia? There is. Actually, one is in Proton. Secondly is in Unimas. But I heard that in Unimas is already down, and previous we have the curve system in MDEC, and also it's been brought down because of the highly maintenance. So yeah, if you have this system, this is quite expensive because it just not projection. It has a sensor to sense you, so that they can return it can sense your location to have a 3D what I call a stereographic projection, so that you can see it's really in 3D projection. So it's just not the single, but the one that you can see the image classroom is normal projection, and it's not stereo, but it still can consider as an immersive experience in that wall projection. All right, so the other hardware, which is the HMDs. So this is how this is the what you call the one that really make the system available to everyone. Okay, so but last time is also HMD, the one that you see at NASA's, and then we also previously used the old system, which been used only by the military to train the pilot. Okay, so basically we have that one, and that one single unit cost us around 60,000 ringgit at that time. So, and after that, luckily we have the Oculus, and now it's been bought by the Facebook or Metaverse. Now it become quite cheap to experience. And of course, when the Google Cardboard um, released, that it is very what you call very cheap, and it's the cheapest way to experience VR for a single person. So basically the Google Cardboard been developed to a proper casing, proper design, which appeared in Samsung Gear VR, which is the collaborate between the Oculus and the Samsung. And then, of course, the Google Cardboard and the Samsung Gear VR, we call it mobile VR. And the other hardware would be the HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, Oculus Quest, Quest 2, Oculus Go. So these are uh, the new version or the next generation of we call it the HMDs, Google Daydream, PlayStation VR, or Windows MR headset. So a lot of company been developing this so-called or HMDs. Okay, so the most famous one is HTC Vive and Oculus. Okay, so HTC Vive and Oculus did what we call a more proper with higher resolutions HMDs. Okay, so yeah, before Oculus come up with the Quest, they have the Oculus Rift and Oculus Rift S, which we call it a tiered system, tiered SMDs. Okay, PlayStation VR and HTC Vive. Tiered HMD mean that you have to plug to the PC to run the application. So uh, the application actually is running uh, on the PC, then project to the HMD. So you can have or you can create the high fidelity kind of output. Okay, so you can have a very realistic environment that runs on the PC. So the okay. So again, HTC Vive also developed the non-tiered, okay, the mobile VR, which is the Vive Focus, Oculus Go, Oculus VR. This is the we call it the mobile. It stand alone, so it has its own system that run the application within the HMD itself. Okay, not sharing to the PC to run. So Samsung Gear use the same as the Google Cardboard, use the mobile phone to run the applications. Only thing the Samsung Gear have extra controller like and also like Oculus Go. Uh, it has the extra controller, not just uh, clicking on the HMD itself. It has its controller, single hand controller. Uh, okay, and then this is other company that develop it's their own HMDs. But I think this is still have to uh, plug into the computer to run. Okay, it's not mobile. All right, so we have the hardware now. The other crucial thing is the software. And the software is used to create the content. So the content creation is another part of VR that really important to create the experience actually. So uh, in the industry now, actually we have a previous software that developed especially it start by game engine. I think there's a lot of game engine been used uh, from early 2000 until now. So the only I can see only this Unity 3 and engine been developed or been uh, updated with the VR application in mind, okay, or they really think of how they can optimize the software to use as the content creation for the VR application. So that's why we currently now using Unity and Unreal Engine. So some of the students use this Unreal, but we officially in our faculty in my department we use Unity 3D. All right. So so basically these are the two most famous software lah to develop the Unity. The VR content. All right. So basically in Unity, they give you a template to start off for VR application. Of course, you can use the normal template, but then they have the plugin or the what we call the what we call the plugin lah, the plugin or the built-in additional SDK for you to create VR in the Unity. So basically Unity is start by as a game engine and it's for the game developer. And then they start VR authoring tools or all those SDKs since 2015. Okay, and they have a lot of SDKs been developed in working with Unity. So basically, even the HMD say last night, let's say the Vive, the Oculus, is not built in the Unity or the Unreal, but when they develop the HMD system, the Googles, they have in mind that the content is also important. So how we help others developer to develop content. So they find which is the best software to collaborate. Okay, so that's why they create all the SDKs. Normally the SDK would provide by the HMD company, and then they give out so that the to the what you call the authoring or the game engine to develop the application using their SDKs. So so when you develop, when you have in mind to develop the VR content, of course you have to know where it will be developed for. Okay, so where it will be the content will be placed. Some will be hybrid. Man, most of the system HMC can use it. So some would prefer only to develop in to Oculus or to HTC Vive. So of course to create the most valuable application, it should be can be run on any platform. Okay, but when you create or when you develop, of course you have to start from something first. Okay, either HTC Vive or Oculus. So that the system or the program would be different from one to another. Okay, so that are the Unity platform. Okay, so this is where you can get the how it looks like in Unity. of course, this sample I'm using the Steam VR. Okay, so Steam VR. Uh, I mean, advantage of Steam VR, you can use either HTC Vive or Oculus Rift at that time. But since the Oculus Quest is actually a mobile platform, then it will set you different. So you have to set your project to a mobile instead of normal VR, because it is the using the mobile system which optimize uh, the uh, the application to be run in the mobile. So Oculus Quest actually is a mobile VR. So yeah, it should be optimized for mobile application. Okay, so this is basically the when we use the Steam VR is either both, like can use for Oculus Rift actually, uh, and the HTC Vive. Okay. Okay, this is how you can I think this is a template, so you can use the template that provided by the Steam VR or other SDKs to work around as you, let's say, want to start any projects or VR project. So the best is to load the SDK and templates and test it around. Okay, so this is Steam VR plugin in Unity. Sorry. So this is another software which is Unreal. Again, the platform will be different a bit. I mean, there's the application, but it is also a game engine. So and a popular game engine to develop a VR application. So other than the Unity, and we have this Unreal Engine, and again they also have a special template for developing the VR application. So you can use the virtual reality template, okay, and they give a template and also a samples that you can use as a reference, and also to create a similar to the samples. Okay, this is how it looks in the Unreal Engine. You can see the controller is, I think, during the development process or development design of the uh, uh, Oculus, if not mistaken, or the Vive controller. So yeah, the best thing is you will get all those samples and how you can tweak to your own project. Okay. Okay, in VR applications uh, is being used in or been popular by a few sectors: automotive, medical, education, architecture, engineering, and retail. So basically, you can see by the Perkins survey, okay, the education will be the second that will be, I mean, the second, what we call, most disrupting immersive technology by next month, next 12 months. So I think this is last year or last 2 years. So basically, we have another survey for this industry. So, but I want to show that the education will be the most important. Will be the most one of the most important that we application that been applied this VR technologies. Okay. So I just show how it's been used or been applied to the various industries. So this is automotive. So it is involved in the design process, and then for automobile designers, one of the most challenging and time-consuming aspect of creating a new vehicle is to having from sketch 2D, while you need to think 3D. So in applying this technology, using this VR technology, they can quickly develop or design the new vehicle by using this applications. Okay, of course, after you design, it also been used as the automotive or marketing. So you can use VR to market whatever you have designed. These are the sample that I think been covered with Unity. Uh, so let me share the screen first. Share web browser.
No sound, Mazlan. No, here is sound.
Okay, so go back to. Okay. So that is in the automotive industries. Uh, so the other thing is the application of VR is in medical. So you can see this morning, Mr. Dandy shows how it create the BLMS, basic life support training. So it is training is also in education. So basically, this VR application in medical is been used in overseas. Is quite quite fast. So it's either can use in clinical practice or surgeon trainings, or therapeutics and physical physiology treatment and pain reduction in hospital. So basically, those are the application of VR then been applied in the medical area. I don't know if there's I think there's some videos. So share the.
Press the start button to begin.
Safety expert. As
practice.
You cannot see the video.
Oh.
We will look at dissect the deep tissue by using a scalpel machine to make a deeper incision and exposing the tissue.
And again, this is now. Look at the side of the patient's neck to verify.
Excellent. You can now see the bone and fracture clearly. Place the forceps back on the tray. Use the screwdriver to drive the neck with a screw. Pull the trigger when you have the screwdriver in position. Okay. Place the screwdriver on the screw tray. That was a very successful operation. Nicely done.
Okay, so
We didn't stop at end-to-end IT solutions unique to your organization. We made them secure, so your users can work and learn from anywhere. Together, we stop at nothing, so nothing's in your way.
okay, I think it's the same video. This. Go back to my slides. So, and next would be in architecture. Okay, so basically in architecture, the VR application would be used in design process, and you also have the BIM or CAD integration to see how it's been developed and how it been integrated to all the system, mechanical, the structure, and so on. So it can be visualized in the VR applications. Okay, and then it also been applied to the maintenance. I mean that after the building has been complete, so they have the VR system to help them, or VR and AR system to complete to help them to maintain the building. And of course, it also tools to sales and to do marketing as the promotion tools using this VR application. So I think this is more on the sample or have been used for construction. Okay, let me share this video. Okay.
My name is Philippos Urbantakis. I'm the creative director at a small agency called Out Here.
And my name is Martin Croft, and I'm the technology director. We are creating a platform for safety training for a big construction company called Skanska. We have been working with Unity for 4 years. We worked with other software before, trying to get hammer in VR into different kind of 3D software. But when Unity released its tools for VR and also together with HTC Vive, we found the platform that we really liked, and we brought that straight into Out Here, and we've been working with only Unity since, and everything is there to make life easy and to make us just create magic stuff.
So it's an incredibly useful tool for me too, because very often the creatives and the designers are a little bit left outside, and now I'm able to actually be brought onto the project and take a part in building things as well. You actually need to think that the previous method they have is a multiple choice, where they actually ask you things like, if you climb a ladder, would you wear a helmet? And now what we're actually doing is we're allowing you to be in that space, climb that ladder. It's a completely different methodology, and we think that it might actually instigate real results, which in turn will actually save lives in the case of Skanska.
When you were a child, you always wanted to be the superhero, and in a way, that's basically what we are. But we're just using other tools than flying around and shooting lasers. In the end, like if we could save one life, that would be worth every single minute we put onto this. So it's that is the end goal.
So this is another example how the VR been used for marketing.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use any fancy editing software. With Doodly, you drag, you drop, you tweak some settings, and boom, video.
So what we are seeing is you can look around, crouch down to the floor, or even jump up to look over the fridge. You move around by teleporting your position with the hand controllers. I use the teleportation method as it is more suited for new users of virtual reality. Doing so, you are much less likely to feel motion sickness, but at the same time, it can be rather limiting for people with more experience using virtual reality. To fully appreciate this, you would actually need to watch it on a virtual reality headset, as the video we are watching now is only in 2 dimensions. So how did I create this scene? The virtual condo is based off a real place, and by living here, it made matching the look and feel much easier. I can safely say that walking around in the virtual condo feels right at home in terms of look and feel to the real thing. Seeing this place in virtual reality sometimes can mess with your head, feeling too real at times. Everything in this environment was made by myself over the span of 3 months. I use unconventional design tools such as SolidWorks that you wouldn't normally think of using for creating game-type, real-time content. SolidWorks is better known for designing things like car engines or cell phones. But when you think about it, if you're trying to recreate a real environment, in this case a man-made one, you should use the original tools that the creators used. In this case, it's safe to assume that most of the things in this condo were likely designed by someone using CAD software tools and not tools used to create film, visual effects, or games. Conversely, if you're trying to create a more natural environment, like a forest or a fantasy scene, you would use different tools better suited for that kind of task. But those CAD tools can only get you so far, and those high-resolution 3D models need to be converted into low-resolution ones with UVs. After you have your 3D model, it all comes down to the lighting and shading to make it look real. In this case, I use Substance Painter and Designer to create physically based materials that closely match the real surface. One of the hardest things to get right in real-time graphics is to get realistic surface reflections. Not only that, but reflections in general are very computationally expensive. But it is necessary to get them working because real-world materials, from metals to shiny plastics to hardwood floors, reflect light in various different and sometimes subtle ways. Your material shaders will never look right.
Right. So that is how been used for promotional space or to sell apartments and condos. Okay, go back to slide. And the others industry, which is engineering, so actually we are to make manufacturing process more efficient and help the engineers to solve its problems by visualize what really they are doing, they are creating or they are calculating Okay, so again, they have the CAD/CAM integration within the. So just now you can see the final, which is for marketing, is very high fidelity content, VR, very realistic. Okay, but you see for engineering there would be more on the solid kind of texture or shaders, because they really want to see what parts or different parts and how it been solved to a certain design. So you can see it's very flat shaders compared to the previous one, which is the high fidelity or the real what we call realistic rendering. So yeah, this is how been used uh, to see or to have.
The stock market keeps going up. Cryptocurrencies keep going up. NFTs keep going up. Real estate keeps going up. It seems like every.
Okay. So this is, I think, Veritalis. This is also the we call it a software also lah. A software that integrate a design, engineering design to visualize in 3D, especially in VR. So let's share this video. Okay. So yeah, if you search for Vitalis, yeah, they're famous for visualize.
Vision Render is an advanced visualization package for the CAD community and allows them to look at their data in a high level of detail, specifically aimed at engineering communities. The really exciting thing about Visionary Render is that it makes virtual reality far more accessible than ever before. Vision Render allows our clients to import their own data, no matter how large, into a virtual environment to create scenes like training scenarios, like maintenance run-throughs or design reviews.
I think one of the first things that engineering users will notice about Vision Render is it talks their engineering language. It enables them to use all the new graphics features, the latest things that graphics hardware is allowing people to do in the movie industry and video games, but they can do that for themselves in an engineering environment, returning engineering data, engineering metadata and attributes, and keeping the structure of their product intact. So it's great. They can keep their data integrity, but use the latest features.
We were looking to update the 3D technology within Lana's leading simulation product, Witness, and we researched the market looking for what is a world-class capability. And we chose Visionary Render from HITeL's. Firstly, because we found Visionary Render to be the best high-performance rendering product on the market. But secondly, we found that HITeL's were really a great team to work with.
Visionary Render can be used by individuals, small groups, or people working remotely. They can collaborate together to share ideas and communicate thoughts very effectively. When organizations invest in virtuality and Visionary Render, they will enhance their working practices. They'll get the best out of their digital design assets and their people. That will reduce payback time and enhance their return on investment.
If you want to sell online, make sure you stand out. Go to Wix e-commerce and create a professional online store that will grab shoppers' attention.
All right. So that is another software. We call it Vitalis. Actually, Vitalis is the company that really collaborate or combine with engineering software like AutoCAD, or other software now, especially for engineering. So they create a plugin so that you just can click and share straight to the system or VR system. So nowadays there's a lot of uh, software or in developed to uh, to to work with existing software as ArcGIS or Vision 360 or other engineering software. So it becomes another add-on or plugin to visualize in VR. Okay, so you don't need to export to Unity or Unreal to create uh, uh, extensive coding or programming to make it really interactive. So some software like HITeL's and other a few visual letter, we just have they know that people that use this VR application for engineering, they just want to know how it fits or what happened if you want to see if you want to apply other size or other system design. So they just want to see how what will happen to the overall design by adjusting some of the system of collaboration. So it's not more, it's not what we call it, it's not the how it looks. Of course it's important, so but it's not as important as how as a tool for marketing or to sell it. So they use this for decision making actually. Is it right? Is it wrong? Or is it the correct size? So they use that to visualize the design, the engineering design. Okay, so other than engineering, we have the retail. Um, so as you have um, here in the system that they want to train the employees, workers of supermarket to to organize things or to indicate or you can help the retailers company to rearrange um, the rack of products and how the behavior of the user will buy or will doing the purchasing within this retail environment. Okay, so and the second one, I think this video, I think let's check video. So basically, VR is being used for planning and retail product placement, which means how they rearrange the stores. And immersion and engagement are amongst the prime directive in the retail industry. And VR and AR work so well with retail business because its ability to solve major problems with customer experience. Okay, so the latest technology that we have for HMDs is they can track our eyeballs. Okay, so within let's say the virtual environment, uh, you apply for you test a user or the buyer to walk through your virtual shop or virtual supermarket. Actually, you can track actually where actually, where actually the users is looking within the vast shelf. Okay, and then from that they can create a highlight of where actually the users looking when they search for things to buy. So from that uh, 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 because that finding they help the retailers to rearrange the shelf. Okay, because they see actually what the customers looking through inside the virtual environment, and they detect the eyeballs. Okay, so let's see the sample here.
If you wear glasses or contacts or suffer from any form of vision impairment, this might be the most important video you ever.
Share this content. Okay. Okay, the next is the use of VR in education and training. So I think you can see the previous talk with by Mr. Dandy show us some example from his project and the student project. So yeah, basically is the same. So actually, I feel the best application for the VR is actually hands-on or training that involve hands-on, so that they really can feel how it works virtually, and of course issue the environment or the design of the application should look realistic, so that the user always can relate to the real thing or the real environment. These are the example of how this system been used. Okay, so what you see is actually is more on simulation training. So it simulate the real look and the real how it really works. So this is another content that that create in VR application, but it's more on fun kind of educations. Let me share this.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want or use any fancy editing software. With Doodly, you drag, you drop, you tweak some settings, and boom, video done.
Okay.
Today, radioactivity is used in a wide range of applications. In 1898, though, it was still considered a mysterious property and hard to study. This all changed with my work to discover radium, a highly radioactive element. Before computers could fit in your pocket, they took up an entire room and weighed 5 tons. The United States Navy was one of the few groups with the ability to maintain such a device. And when I joined the Bureau of Ordnance Computation Project, I started on the path that would lead me to making computers something everybody could use.
So yeah, it's create the game light or more fun of educations of this is how the finding was invented by Marie Curie and the computers. So those are the samples that how people create content for education in fun way. Okay, so I just come back to my slide. So let me use this video first. Okay, so basically, yeah, why people create VR for education and training basically is a game-changing learning and training experience. And of course, for training, it's very safe. Like Mr. Dandy say, why people create VR because it's totally safe. Okay, like the real thing that you want to apply, it is a safe environment that you can test and repeat if you make mistakes. Okay, and of course, it's cost saving for some industry like oil and gas to trains. So they really have to bring or buy the real machine to demonstrate or for the student to use. By creating the virtual environment or elements, it becomes cheaper from buying the real things, and then it creates the very engaging experience. Okay, and it has a unique ability to inspire and engage the student to do more or to learn more. Okay, so what is VR learning experience? So basically, when we create the learning experience, it can be a non-immersive method, or it can be a immersive method. So basically, a desktop VR or tablet or mobile phone, that would be the non-immersive mean that you really not really engage or you not really immerse into the environment. So, but again, we can call it a VR, what we call VR, non-immersive VR. And then in immersive method, we use the HMD and the cave to really immerse you in the virtual environment. Okay, so by increasing financially feasibility of virtual reality system, open up possibilities for educational institutions to explore the technology in teaching and learning. So basically, yes, last time if you want to experience a VR, you really have to buy those expensive SMD or to set up those cave. But since the Oculus and the Vive and other similar cheaper version of the other experience, that really made the VRs would become very affordable now. Okay, so the Oculus Quest currently is priced at 1,500 to 2,500 based on the I think on the capacity, memory capacity. That's why they have two range, but the model is almost the same as the capacity. And okay, so for high fidelity graphics and immersive content that use head-mounted display, allows students to explore complex subjects in a way that traditional teaching method cannot. So basically, yeah, you really can create the real, almost real things in the virtual environment. So the student really can feel and can visualize the exact object and or environment and with this system. Okay, so because that's why we talk this there's a high fidelity and the low fidelity based on the capability of the system. So basically, Oculus Quest 2 has a screen resolution 1022 by 1922 pixel per eyes. Will give you more clearer or the real vision as the normal you can see in the real world. So, so this is how the technology been developed and become cheap, but yet become a very high end of kind of system. Okay, so basically, when you create the content, of course you will relate back to the learning outcome. So basically, the first narrative is related to studies that intend to teach specific declarative information of knowledge. So yeah, you must make sure that is the first thing that you have to achieve. So second was the procedure which intend to teach the user how to perform a specific task or learn psychomotor skills that pertain to a certain activities. Third one should be the affective skill, which can be defined as a growth in areas relating to emotion and attitude. So basically, based on Hamilton. Yes, we want to develop a good application, but the background or the fundamental learning, you must make sure that can achieve. Okay. So by how we define a good educational VR, so this it should be immersive, interactive, and the result can be measured. Okay, so when you create, of course, you will need to have the result and how you test it. All right, so this is the other software apps for education. I can see the video. Of course, the first one is Google Expeditions, but I think they shut down last February. This is quite a very good app actually, a mobile app, and you can visual the both VR and AR environment. let's see what happened, how it is being used. But I think the latest one we developed by other company, which is VR Expedition 2.0. But I think Google transfer all the content to Google Art and Culture. If you find the download the app, it's called Art and Culture. Previously, it's Expedition. So let's see the Expedition, but I think this is similar to the Art and Culture. But this is how they use in the classroom the PR application. So
my name is Lance Tiesling.
So share this. Okay.
I'm in middle school in Eagle Grove, Iowa. Eagle Grove is not a very tall place. It's actually very flat. This is the tallest building on Main Street. It is about 50 feet tall. When I grew up, I want to be an architect and design skyscrapers. Yesterday at school, we were on a class trip, but this was not a normal trip with buses. This was something very different. The very first expedition we went on was to the Burj Khalifa.
Go ahead and grab 2 hands and put them up to your face.
It's so tall.
Okay, we're going to go to the 153rd floor.
Okay, so that's the one of the example that using the Expedition thing, and now it's Google Art and Culture. So the VR in this example is basically is called 360 VR or 360 video VR for that also apply to create or to give an experience. Okay, so YouTube also have a few channels that have we call it a VR channel, which again a 360 video that you can experience the 360s setting or 360s videos on especially the place that we cannot go. So okay, let's see this.
Alright, let's go do this.
Okay, so this is experience of climbing, rock climbing. So it's a video that you can pan around. But if you are using a Google Cardboard, it will detect with the with your phone that have the accelerometer. You can really 360s around to see the environment. So yeah, this is kind of experience also rock climbing using the 360 VR. Okay, so. Okay, so this is another sample that another application. I believe some Mr. Dandy also mentioned this morning. so this is from Eon Realty. They call it Eon XR. Actually, it's available free for the platform. So the platform let you to use the content. Some of the content are free, and to interact using the applications, and to create the education content in VR for a certain, whatever on whatever subject.
Eon XR is now available for Oculus Quest 2 and other virtual reality headsets. With Eon XR, you can learn and play in fully interactive lessons from a massive library. Teachers and trainers can create custom learning content on their computer or mobile devices and share it with students and trainees to experience immersive virtual reality using the Oculus Quest 2. Members can sign in to access their account in VR. Scroll through the category of your choice and choose a lesson to experience. Pick apart the 3D model and learn about its components. Follow along with the contextual learning elements added by the lesson creator. Watch and listen in person while they perform operations and procedures as they teach. Choose your preferred learning environment and explore or interact with the space of your choice. Eon XR brings together a pedagogical approach and the joy of virtual reality to bring knowledge to the masses.
Okay, so share the okay, so yeah, the new VR expedition is
did that with a bunch on the other ones on the stick, like would climb so I was like right at it, you're like, oh.
okay. So yeah, this is the expedition 2, which similar to the expedition, okay, but developed by other companies already.
Robot Lab introduces VR Expeditions 2.0. The next generation education. Robot Lab introduces VR Expeditions 2.0. The next generation education. Take your students to museums, historical sites, outer space, underwater, into the human body, climbing icebergs, and so much more. Where will you take your students? Available exclusively at Robot Lab.
Okay, so yeah, the company called Robot Lab, they just recreated the expedition, and they call it Expedition 2. Of course, others, I think, like like Steam VR, actually, they have a portal that have a lot of application you can download to their HTC device, or what you call it, the Oculus, to experience things, not just videos. Steam VR is digital VR, which is a digital environment, and you can really experience it and use some of the example. So basically, when they create the example for the Steam Lab, is actually to introduce to how we would possibly created such application that really utilize the SMD and the controllers, and how it really use the VR application to create the experience and simulations. Vive itself has its own portal also to download, to experience, to test the sample. And of course, if you created the application, you can put to this Steam or to Viewport so that the user can download or can buy your application. So they give just like the Google Play or Apple Store. So they have their own VR application stores that you can buy and you can download. So some are free, some are you need to buy. Okay, Oculus itself, when they introduce the Oculus, they have a portal to test the application in Oculus. So yeah, in the Steam VR, Oculus Store and Viveport. This is the work that the student, the Mr. Dandy showed, the nanotechnology. So yeah, I think that would conclude my my presentation now, my today. So yeah, I'm open for question and answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mazlan. Very fruitful sharing. I think there's some difference from our topic from the Dandy. So this is more towards how we can see VR has been used in many disciplines, right? In engineering, in architecture, education. So it's really a diverse usage for VR right now. So I think, like Mazlan said, now VR is already becoming affordable, and it's not like before where you have to buy. If you want to buy, you need to buy a prototype. I think I bought one, the first Oculus Quest, cost around 1,000 US, I think, 1,000 or something. I think it's more than that. I think because right now it's all consumer based, and you can get. I think even you can get in Shopee, in Lazada. I think right. There are companies in Malaysia that sell directly a VR headset. So I think for the question, I think if you have any question, you can chat in the chat box. So I think for me, I think on behalf of the participants again, I think we like to know. I think most of us like to know how do we start into VR, right? I mean, we can see a lot of techniques in terms of the software, the game engine. I think for people with backgrounds in VR or in 3D modeling, I think it's something that's quite familiar. But in your opinion, I think do you think that there is any option that like a more simpler option to VR that maybe most of us can just use it in teaching and learning or in innovation?
Okay, the one that I can suggest, or I have been experienced is the Ion XR. Ion XR is actually a platform actually for they just create a platform just like the but it's not a normal platform. Actually, you can use the content from let's say the common content is basically quite free, but of course when we talk about content, of course when you need a specific content, then you have to create it. Okay. So but this Ion XR, they say they have a few libraries. Let me check. I already installed it.
Maybe you can show example from Ion XR, I think.
Okay, so basically this is it can be it has, if you if you have a mobile phone, it is in application, but in the desktop, it is a web-based application. Let me check. I can log in with my. Okay, if I can share the window. So let's share this. Okay, so dia buka kat Microsoft Edge pula. Okay, so basically this is a web-based Ion XR. So they have a few library and of course they have a category education, aerospace, so TVET and CTE. They put all this content. Let's say engineering construction. Okay, they have a few content, including the 360s, video or image, and of course a 3D environment or 3D build. So you can, let's say, some engineering design. You can select ada kategori yang very famous tak. Okay, so this is more on science. Samples of suspension. So some right. So basically this revision journal is not the stuff from Ion. Actually, they are users like us, so we can create reviews and we create the class lesson using the libraries. So you can launch in VR, which is if you have the Google Cardboard, or you just use the screen-based view. So you can start your lessons. Actually, let's see the demo first. How the SI, I think, yeah. Okay, you have to download first the application. So of course, when it involves the high fidelity object, you always have to be in the you have to install in the computer, of course. But for if you have created the lesson, you download the apps, let's say in the tablet or in the handphone to be used in the Google Cardboard, especially the cheapest solution for experience to VR. So yeah, you can really apply those lessons. Example here you can. I think this example have animations and can do a blow up of components and labeling all those components. So this I mean this is for me, for beginners want to start the VR content education what we call the lesson to create invest. This is the very basic platform lah. Of course, it has the limited because not everything that we want to follow in the textbook can have content here. So we have to create also. So that's why the content creator is still relevant. You have to really meet the content developer to develop your content. If you have a specific subject to develop. Okay, so this one is commonly you have example of quite extensive of example that you can let's say you can test out as let's say similar to your subject matter. So you can always find the similar example in this. So basically, they have two components. If you have a tablet, you can, if the 3D object, it can be appear as AR object. Okay. Or the 3D environment can be a virtual reality environment. I think that.
Sorry, since we're still in Aeon HITeL's, there's one question from Mashara saying that if Aeon HITeL can be developed VR from scratch like Unity, or it just provide 3D model library of.
It is a platform. If you can see, if you want to create a VR education punya content, so I think this is the very basic kalau macam to level things like parts, how it works, animate in VR or in AR. So you no need to have a real. I mean, you use the application to create a sequence of your training or your tutorial. So I think it's free. You just so yeah, I already complete the installation. I think. Let's see. We can open it. So yeah, it's a platform lah. It's a platform that you straight can create things and upload to Google Cardboard or VR headset. See.
Do you need to pay for the subscription?
Okay, the application is free, but some of the content, because they develop with the others company to model to create things, so they have to pay some of the libraries lah. So if you want the very specific, then you can create and you can upload it and you can use the platform also. Okay, so yeah, All right. So example here, if I have, if I install it in my tablet or in my phone, or in the, I don't know whether they have this portal inside the Quest 2. I believe they are working to have that in the Quest 2. So you just upload it and watch. So you can, let me share share with okay, so this is the sample of when you click the example in the website, they pop up in the VR in the system. So if you upload it in phone, you can straight have the icon of the AR and the VR. So you just click there. Because if there's a lesson there, okay, so yeah, you can create all these things. So they give you, let's say, let's put some leveling for this. What is this? So you create. They have example. Simple example. You want to just add this labeling and information. You just simply add that. Okay, and then this is if you have the what I call the exploded view of the certain element or component. So you just create that, and it will automatically do it for you. Okay? So this, I think, a transparent what you call the transparency view of all the component to see inside. So this is animation. There is some animation. So if we have some animation, but currently it doesn't have the animation for this model. So yeah, if you open it in tablet or in your on your mobile phone, there is a button, VR button. You just click VR, put inside the your cardboard, Google Cardboard, and you can see a 3D view. So, and those things still running. The labeling you can see in the VR. So let's say other labels. So yeah, for me, this is if you want to. The company approached us. Okay, so I told them that we are creating the simulating. So, but if you want to integrate this for others, teachers that want to create the VR, I think this is good platform lah. So you just use this as a platform and create education or tutorial or whatever content using this. So I think the subscription is for personal is free, but if you want to apply for school, so they have some subscription lah. I mean, use that as education, so they give you quite substantial of library lah. They open up for more libraries and so on. So for free version, I think if you can, there's a few lah. You can test it out in AR or in VR. So like,
very interesting idea of sharing VR content, right? I mean, if without certain specific companies or Aeon, I mean, can we like share content through the browser based VR content, or is there any kind of plugin or something like that?
Okay, some content they can browse actually in the the interface for the library is online. But once we want to load the content, some content need to be downloaded using the application lah. Dia ada installation yang a small installation yang just now I just create. So it's to create a viewer in your desktop lah. So if you download in your tablet or your handphone, it's already there. So you just pop up into the system. It's an application lah, macam you have to download from Google Play.
So we need an application to share our content, right?
Yes.
So I think if you remember, that the old time I call it verbal, like VRML, right?
VRML lah.
We can share directly in the web browser, right? The whole 3D environment. So, right, is there any?
If you want, there is some. I think if you see, if you look into like 3D application or 3D modeling libraries, I think nowadays they can just load a 3D object itself to see. So they use the same technology like the render engine that built in the browser. So I think some of the application they already developed into that. Using just a web browsers that really support this 3D. Of course, if you remember the VRML is very chunky and the texture is very coarse. So now you want to show a very realistic. You cannot use that.
That time was something big. The old time.
Yes. Last time we do our project done by just using the VRML. When we started the VR in 2004.
Yeah, right. But the masters, we did it. Because it's quite easy but we need to install the plugins in the browser and then treat it directly. So wondering if right now, because
there is some application that just use the because if you use the Microsoft, they have their own 3D viewers. So for web also there is already that optimize the graphic for straight uploading into the browser itself. I think even if you search for Google, kalau you search something 3D, there are the buttons to watch in VR, watch in AR. So even the Google search itself or Google search engine that has that capability. So you really can put in front in your environment to see how the dinosaur is in your house. You just using the Google.
And directly from YouTube, right? Because but when we want to do some, like for us, like doing e-learning project. You want to show students interactivity in terms of VR or VR content, but we don't know how to share it in a way that they can easily access from like the browser or easily access from without installing like your application as an application. So just wondering, maybe there's some innovation or some technology right now that can just really share VR content through the web, right, for purpose of learning or like a learning platform. We still need to go through companies, right?
No. You actually, if you want to create for web-based, if you use Unity, there is a possible. Because you can create the output would be the web HTML5 coding lah. So, but that one is they will limit you lah. So you cannot really do the 1 gig punya file right? So in the application, yes, you can do 1 or 2 10 gig of application. So yeah, there's a limitation when you want to port into the web-based content.
Even you can export to APK right now, right? You can put it straight to mobile phone APK file.
Yeah, APK is the installation installation for mobile. But again, you have to install juga lah. Kan tak boleh terus run the different web.
So it's not really coming. I think this is very, very fast, right?
Yeah, soon I think, yeah, because of the broadband limitation, I think soon when NVIDIA maybe create the cloud base, so then you just can actually the processing is running at the machine, but you can just visualize in the web base. So yeah, that technology would be appear soon.
Okay, we have one question from Barret. Between Unity and Unreal Engine, which is the more suitable for beginners? Mana paling sesuai?
Oh, beginners okay. Unreal Engine, the best is because there are dua types of programming in Unreal. So you either can use a C++, or you can use the Blueprint. Blueprint is a visual script. So you just the script is like a tile. You just sambung and then create the So it's quite easy because it's not been taught in our course lah. Tapi some students manage to brave enough lah to create the final year project with the Unreal just because they learned the Unreal Engine during the practical time. So during the internship, the company using Unreal, so they managed to adopt it, and then they're brave enough to do the Unreal project. So the final year project in using Unreal. So that is quite easy lah. I haven't really do complete. I just try but sometimes there's some because it's too simple. So maybe if you want to do a complex kind of interaction, dia susah sikit lah. That because is students still like to use Unity because of the multiple platform, senang nak buat desktop based to VR, dia mudah sikit. Dia just has the option there. So in Unreal, I think they just start adopting this VR and AR. So yes, dia ada lah, tapi because the basic yang Unreal guna is yang introduction is the blueprint tu, the visual scripting tu yang buat orang senang nak belajar all those. Previously pun our department using Vertu. So Vertu ni is from the French company and they are using the some kind of visual scripting. So pun sama it's easier to see your script. Yeah, just in the arranging all the tile, behavioral tiles.
Okay. Two more questions. Ujung-ujung dia banyak sikit. The other from Mr. Farid. So it's possible to develop VR content using Real Engine?
Yes.
I also want to answer yes.
Because I just showed that there's some they even give us some template to start in the Unreal Engine, so you can visibly create a VR application using the Unreal. Yeah.
UDK is free, right? Unreal Engine is free.
Unreal is free, and that's why there are two commonly or most popular after they've been free version. Okay, last time we had to buy it, these are the two common software lah that people create. Cuma dengan actually if you see the sample from Unreal, they are more macam the visual is more compelling lah. I mean but because because memang besar lah, if you create the application, you become if the same application you do in Unity is double the size in Unreal, sebab because of the process, the detail of dia lagi banyak.
Mahani is 35% to focus to the virtual tour for museum and the software virtual tour for museum.
Virtual tour for museum. Okay, it depends lah. It depends. Because when we create VR ni, it's just not a walkthrough. Okay, dia kena ada interaction. So what kind of interaction yang you nak buat? Macam you nak display the visual, the visual content lah. So you either you want to just showcase like a normal museum, or you have the interaction like 3D pop-up object, narration, additional videos. So those become how complexity of the interaction that we want to do. So it depends on the software, the software also. So most probably these two are the Unreal or the Unreal or the Unity. Okay.
Unity is paid, right? Or subscription lah. Unity kena bayar lah.
Unity. Tak.
Now it's free.
Free lah semua.
Okay. Unless
it's personal. Unless even you are doing to commercialize, dia ada certain term yang cakap your punya application tu orang dah download dan bayar up to berapa 1,000 lah, 100,000 baru you kena bayar the Unity license tu. Lagi tak sampai tu you boleh jual for use the Unity for free. Of course lah, dia ada banyak version lah. Unity personal tu free lah. Lepas tu dia ada Unity for commercial, yang tu bila you pay for that, you have additional lah, macam support, macam mana nak how to monetize your ni. So dia banyak lagi lah dia punya ni. Kalau you just nak develop to a normal application, you boleh pakai personal. It's good enough.
Yeah, good enough. More than good enough. But they really need to pay for both. Need to pay for both software.
Yes.
Very expensive. No, it's free. I only know now. Unity is free. I mean, UDK is free.
Unity is free.
Okay.
You have to download the personal one. The personal Unity Pro.
Good enough for education.
Yes, for education, like apa tu dia use the personal course. By right, actually, last time we had to buy the educational license. But since I think now online, so student install their own PC, personal lah. They use the personal license.
Okay, good to know. All right. So I think we finished come to the end of the presentation. We are for free. Balik kata, last time I spent a lot of time bayar. I use Unity waktu PhD dulu, I still have to pay. That's 5 years back. But it's free. Unreal free. Oh, Unreal dulu memang free kan? Unreal, Unity, I think.
Unreal, dia ada dua version sebenarnya. Unreal 4 masa tu free, masa Unreal 3 masih bayar lagi. Bila dia nak Unreal 4, lepas tu now Unreal Engine now free. So a good thing of Unreal ni, kalau you are architecture punya ni lah, developer, architect designers, dia ada another one software di bawah Epic Engine kan. Under Epic ni dia ada Fortnite game tu, dia ada Unity, Unreal. So there's another software called Twin Motion. Twin Motion ni memang for architect to create the real time experience lah. Okay, so if you use SketchUp, dia ada direct plug-in. Maksudnya you can load the SketchUp model itself and apply. Dia ada their own materials, but dia ada another sub company called QuickSell. QuickSell tu macam substance je. So you can create the realistic material to apply to your design. So dalam SketchUp you have a very simple texture. Bila you masuk dekat Twin Motion, they give a real very realistic material as the real life punya ni. So that one is quite easy also. You just once you have models, you decide that okay, the basic interaction for architect lah, buka pintu, buka tingkap tu je kan, pasang lampu. So they already set tu. So you just bila dah masuk tu, you nak walk through ke, you nak rendering ke, you nak VR ke, just a click of button je.
Right, thank you. Okay, think that's about all. Think we have time for final photo session, I think. Thank you. Mazlan, thank you very much for the sharing session. Very interesting. A lot. I've learned a lot today. from both Steady and Mr. Mazlan. So good discussion. So hopefully we can invite you again for the next session. Okay, maybe some or maybe something a bit more support. So boleh baik lagi lah. Problem dia. Okay, so we sure maybe physically tak tahu lepas ni. Kita boleh travel
lah, boleh. Next year kot. Next year dah boleh dah kot. Buat workshop, face to face workshop.
Okay. So, Azam boleh stop sharing sekejap. Kita take photo.
Okay.
So, apa? Next ni kita pergi buat workshop. Iza ada, boleh kita take photo sekejap. Kita minta on video for a moment. Take photo dengan lensa kita.
Okay, standby
Okay, okay.
Okay, right. Okay, 1, 2, smile. Okay. Alright, done. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Nila. Okay, thank you all for attending today's webinar. Okay, thank you very much. I think we have a lot of participants from outside UiTM. I think we have one from UAE. I'm going to already baru chat dengan seorang UAE student ni. Dia Azlan. UAE. Dia kata dia di pagi dah ni. Dia tak sempat tengok tempat sana dah pagi. Dah 5 pagi je lah. So there's a lot of participants from around the world lah kan, international participants. So it's very good. Okay, from Guinea. Okay, thank you very much to Cik Mazlan again, and thank you much for joining our HITeL's webinar today. So you can view the videos in YouTube for both webinar daripada hari ni from today, daripada pagi yang petang. And then for your jam staff, isi ni lah. I think for site participant, we will try to get this certificate for you all. Okay, so you can fill the link in the chat box, I think, the attendance link. Okay, so thank you all. We see you again in the future webinar. Thank you very much for joining. So all the best in your VR development. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'll see you again.
Alright, thank you Cik Bazizam, Cik Mazlan. Okay. So participants nak tunggu Cik Mazlan pergi workshop.
Workshop lah tu.
Workshop lah. Tengoklah. InsyaAllah. Boleh.
Tu, projek tu.
Tu boleh. Yang tu kena request kat Mr. Dandy tu. Dia bos saya.